the information that you're giving them is going to elevate them financially, mentally, emotionally, and going to rise, and they're going to elevate.
We are here trying to elevate barbers as they're elevating the industry.
The one and only Elevated Barbers Podcast. Let's start the show.
Welcome to the season premiere of Elevated Barbers Podcast, Season 3. We are here together again because what happened was there was some human error, some technical difficulties, and we had the greatest interview of all time on Elevated Barbers Podcast, and failure. It never happened, man. It never happened. It did,
but it's not documented anymore.
Yeah. So we're going to actually turn it up a notch. We're going to have a little bit more energy, talk a little bit more about some of the details between you guys' history. So, again, my name is Brad, the business-minded barber. My co-host is Delmar
The Prvnce, a.k.a. co-host of the one and only Elevated Barbers Podcast.
And we have none other than Nargis as well as Bossio. So two greats that we have in the industry right now. And we're going to dive into some of their history and see how did they get to where they are? How are they feeling about where the industry is right now? And what do they see for the future? So, Chris, Nargis, let's go back to Barber College and talk about a little bit about how you guys connected and became friends in this industry, and how you guys actually sparked and hit it off. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, it all started in 2019, Urban Barber College times 245. We're going to insert the picture right here. Hello. That is when Chris
That's an
Bossio...
embarrassing picture, by the way. I had no beard.
Okay.
None of that. I'm just playing.
Listen.
But I was young.
That was when it all started.
That's crazy.
You never really realize your growth until you see it.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
And before this interview, we were just discussing how Chris Bossio is the reason why I became a licensed barber today.
That was a surprise to me, by the way.
Yeah.
But
and we go way
back. Yeah.
But I never really told him. I'm not really sure why, honestly.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Why
guys...
she's never told me, I don't know. This is like our 10th show together, but okay.
Dude, honestly, more than that.
Yeah,
2019 crazy. To 2024.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
A few times a year we would see each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's not just little shows. It is big shows. But I first met Chris Bossio at Urban Barber College, where I was just admissions, doing my thing, and Chris Bossio came by and put on such a great class where it inspired me to stop what I thought I was going to do and change my career to becoming a barber.
That's crazy.
So I did get my license in 2019, and I have to say, I've seen my...
Can I ask you, what you think you were going to do?
Broadcasting. I thought I was going to move to SoCal.
You were going to college.
Broadcaster.
Yeah. Wow. So she was going to college, all that stuff. Had a career in mind.
I did.
And I messed it all up. Your family hates me.
No, honestly, my family would probably thank you.
Yeah.
Because I was going to move away, and they hated the fact about me being away.
Okay, that's dope.
So they would probably thank you.
Shout out to the family.
Hey, shout out mom and dad. But in the barber industry, you don't really realize how much you inspire people and what your conversations do to them and what they do to elevate, honestly.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, I didn't know, we went to this class and you seen the picture. I'm still a young guy trying to figure this out, man. I'm pouring into people. I'm sharing the things that I'm dealing with on a daily basis and what my vision is for the industry. But we don't have nothing figured out, and I'm just hoping that people will gravitate towards it and help me along the way. Yeah. And it's crazy how it comes full circle, because now Nargis is hosting some of the best barber expos and battles on the West Coast, and she's making her way to, I feel like every other flyer I see for a show, Nargis is the host. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Obviously something was right about that calling. And that's all I aim to do is to share this and to at least make an impression on people. I don't know how far that's going to go, but like Nargis was saying, you never know what you say, where you said it, who it impacted, and what it'll become. This industry is, man, it's just getting started.
It's amazing.
Yep.
It's amazing.
I'm sitting here. I just meet Nargis for the first time. Pleasure to meet Nargis. She's been a phenomenal host of this barber battle. And I'm also sitting here with two people who inspired me coming into the industry, and Brad, and then now meeting Chris Bossio personally for the first time. And it's been a pleasure meeting him as well. Real down to earth guy. It's like sometimes, man, you know, you see these people that inspire you on social media and YouTube, and you get kind of nervous, right?
Yeah.
You don't know how they're gonna respond because Chris got a huge following.
Yeah.
Like everybody know Tune 45, the brand, and Chris Bossio, but just meeting him and talking with him, and he's down to earth. He came to do the podcast. Nargis came to do the podcast again. Like I said, we recorded the first time. But
Round 2.
Just drawing so much from these two, like with the class that Chris presented today, just teaching barbers about beyond the chair. Brad teaching barbers beyond the chair. Like we got to begin to think like that beyond the chair, because you can't stay behind the chair forever. Nargis, she's hosting shows and battles, and just, I don't know, man, like the industry has so much more to offer than just doing fades forever.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate being here today. This is my first barber battle that I've been to on the West Coast. I've been to one in the South. It wasn't like this though. Like this was a phenomenal show, getting to see all the students and the kids, the talent that they have, the will to learn. Like, I don't know, this was refreshing to me, man.
Yeah.
I feel motivated going back home.
It's this energy that we feel here at Barber Battle number 5 has probably been, because it's not like a super big venue, right? Like the venue is not humongous, but the quality that was inside this, it gives you like a different energy. That's all I can say. It gives you a different feel because it's more of an intimate but positive environment.
My favorite shows are the grassroots ones. This feels grassroots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the owner of the barber battle, he has a school, and you see all his students pulling up.
Yeah.
It's young, it's energetic. You see the future here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's on to something. So, and that's what it takes at the end of the day. Like we've all been in a place where, you know, we were barber students, and we've been expanding, and we have our stories, and this is what that looks like. It's what it feels like. I love supporting shows like this. For sure.
No, this has been good. So if you have not done this already, we're going to need you to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on so that you can get the latest gems from everything going on here at Elevated Barbers Podcast. So I do want to tag on to some of the things that you guys said where you talk about impact, right? You talk about the ability to impact. One of the things that you said in the last interview was that you actually like to give the flowers back to the people that are putting the effort in, that respond to maybe something that they see from you or see from you. And I thought that was really, really interesting, because if you are an individual that is about something, you have to put the effort in, right? Like it's like no information that enters you is going to go anywhere if you don't put the effort in. And so I really like that. What would you say to the person that is feeling a little challenged about the execution of some of the things that they may hear from you, and or the inspiration that they may feel from you, but they don't know if they really want to kind of go that far? What would y'all say to that?
Honestly, I think the number one thing is to trust the process. And if you ask me, Nargis, what are you going to do 5 years from today? I would never say host barber expos. You know, there's a difference between barber battles and barber expos. Expos are a lot bigger, and a lot of the times, like, don't get me wrong, I've reached a point in my life where I am getting booked for a lot of expos. I am seeing big brands like 245 and other brands, but it's a lot of hard work. You know, just the way people go through the tears and the stress and all that, I've been through that. You know, it took a lot to get to where I am today. And every show, it's important to network, meet people, introduce yourself. Social media is the number one portfolio we have today. It's the number one networking that we have today. And that's how it's going to make you go ahead and get to where you want to be. You know, a lot of the times you don't know who you're going to meet. You know, you'll meet, like when you talk to Chris, you don't know that Chris has a huge following. You don't know Chris is an educator. You don't know Chris is owning a company that's so big. You know, like when we have a conversation, it's like, cool, this is a homie. But at the end of the day, you've inspired me today. You know, you've inspired a lot of barbers out there. As far as Urban Barber College, every single class that we have, they know who 245 is. And you don't know who you inspire, you know what I mean? But The number one advice I could say is trust the process because it will be worth it. The tears, the stress, all of that, the roller coaster will be worth it.
Same question to you, Chris.
Just to piggyback off what Nargis was saying, like own who you are at the same time. When if I meet Nargis at a show and I see her as a host and I go to her page and it has nothing to do with hosting, I'm not excited to book her. Like she owns it. She owns that. And that's why I see her all the time at all the flyers, all the shows, and people she's built a reputation for herself. You don't have to already have a name. Like one thing that Nargis has said is like when you go to the shows, go speak to people. At the end of the day, we're all freaking human beings. I'm out there the entire time today. I could be in this room chilling on my phone, but I want to go out there because I want to meet the future of the industry. I want to talk to these people. You know how many people asked me to take a photo for them? A bunch of people.
Really? Yeah.
Believe it or not, they had no clue who I was.
Yeah.
They should have been networking.
Yeah.
Because this is a way small industry than people understand. People believe you can carve your own lane in this industry right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be forever. But man, in 2024, you better figure that out if you really want to do something in this industry. Because it's open. It's wide open. Even today.
Yeah.
I like what you're saying, Chris, because it's basically what you're saying is versus my brand and having a big name, I want to leave an impact. That's what I want to be remembered for, not because I have X amount of followers, but it's because of my impact that I left in each individual life. I was able to help somebody. I was able to inspire somebody. I was able to get somebody to see bigger than just being a barber, but being a business owner. That's needed in this industry because it's all we see is phase. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have a lot of people who are really talking about business and building relationships and inspiration and impact. And that's the side I'm on nowadays in my career because I've done all the fading, but now I want to be able to inspire somebody,
Yeah. Look, brand has nothing to do with your logo, your colors, your mascot. It has everything to do with how people feel about you and what you represent. That's all it is. That's what branding is. Yeah. And so you got to understand who you are and what you want people to feel about you. And just be that every day. Yeah. Be consistent. Show up. Yeah. If there's 5 shows this year, you better be at every one. Yeah. Shake hands and make sure people know what you represent. Yeah. Like anybody, when I go to a show, I want to make sure I'm accessible to everybody. Yeah. I will stand in the middle of the freaking floor over there, and I'll talk to every single person if it takes 10 hours. I'll lose my voice.
He's not lying. Like he's done this at multiple events I've seen.
Because I care. Yeah. This is I care about the future of the industry, man. I like the grassroots, man. Yeah. That's what I was born from. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean? I was making shave gel in my kitchen, guys. Yeah. Like I really, really, truly believe in that. And I love that the people I'm surrounded with, like Nargis, are grassroots as well. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. So, like, guys, if you're watching this podcast, we're all accessible. We're all human beings. Everybody is. If they're not, they're weirdos. And that's okay. Like those people are gonna be in every industry. Yeah. But like you're gonna gravitate towards the right people if your heart's in the right place. It's wide open right now.
It's wide open. Now I wanna dive a little bit into something that you said because I think it's super key when you said you have to know yourself, right? So there's so many different people in this industry. It was some of the stuff that I was speaking about on stage too. Is a lot of people try to impersonate people. They see success in somebody else and they try to mimic the success that they see, but it's not who they are as an individual. But one of the things that I can feel from the both of you, same thing with Delmar, same thing with myself, is there's an authenticity to you two. You know what I'm saying? For the person that is looking at success and saying, I want this, whatever that is for them in their mind, how would you guys give them instruction about how to be themselves? Because you were the MC before you were an MC. You know what I mean? Like you were that person. Yeah. You became known for Chris Bossio and Tune 45, but you were this person before, like you said, that grassroots. So you grew into it, but how would you help somebody that wants to explode be themselves through that growth? That's a deep question. I know it is.
Honestly, the only person that's holding you back is you. The only person that's holding you back is you.
Big bars.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. And if you want to do something, do it. You have to be organic about it. And that's a conversation we were just having before the cameras came on is Chris Bossio is humble, but he knows what he's talking about, you know? Now in the barber industry that we live in, people are taking things from this barber and this barber and this barber, and they're just trying to make money. But you have to be passionate about it because the barber industry was so different pre-pandemic. You know, it was so different. Today, it is a lot of younger generation trying to become barbers, trying to compete and this, and that. But be you. Because all these, you can have a competition and compete at every single battle, but the only person that's going to motivate you or stop you is you. It's really you versus you. It's nobody else versus you. It's just you.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest advantage you can have too is being yourself, boots on the ground, having real relationships, identifying real problems in the industry, and becoming a solution to it. If you want to be in demand, right? Like emceeing for barber battles, there ain't a lot of people competing for those spots. It's not a lot of people who are trying to become great at that. And like, here's Nargis saying, I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna become great at this. My background's broadcasting. I know I saw Bossio's class and I'm inspired, right? But at the same time, I know who I am and I know what I can bring to the industry. I know the value and I'm confident in that. And I'm gonna step on. I'm gonna step on next and I'm gonna make sure y'all feel me. Look, if I feel like only people who are not being original and copying everybody, just chasing money, those are people who have no value to give. Those are people with the least confidence. Those are the people with the most questions. And it's like, bro, be a student for a little bit and identify with yourself. And then bring that shit to the table, man. It's gonna be felt. I mean, I talked to some guys today who are man, there were people approaching them asking for photos. Their community celebrities to the barbers here. They got 2-3 barber shops, 30 barbers. Everybody in the city knows who they are, and everybody's approaching them, excited to see them. Like, bro, you in your lane. Just chase, just give more, reach more people. That's all it is. People ask me all the time, what's my social media strategy? I ain't got one. I don't know social media. I don't know the algorithms. I think that's the worst strategy to have because the algorithms change so often. You'll never win long term. I've been doing this for a very long time. And all I do is I meet with people like this who care about the industry, right? We network, we talk, and then we just put a camera in front of what we already do. This conversation would be had regardless if we had a podcast or not. Sorry. Regardless if we had a podcast or not. It's not perfect. We regular people. You know what I mean? Like, you brought this in a bag, you brought it over, you brought your equipment, and we're just documenting the conversation we would have had regardless. So be that person, and it'll gravitate towards you.
I'd like to piggyback off of what Chris and Nargis said about just self-awareness and then also being authentic. People gravitate to authenticity. You know, they can feel when you're not being authentic, and then something that you said, Nargis, about Chris is that he knows what he's talking about because he lived it. You can't sell a product that you haven't lived. You know, you can't coach somebody.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Hey, hold on, y'all roll for some feathers.
Yeah, but you can't sell a product that you haven't lived. You can't just take stuff from this barber, that barber, piece it together yourself, but you haven't yourself lived it and then try to sell it as a product. That's not authentic. I believe in what Chris talked about. I believe in what Brad talked about because I know Brad personally, he lived it. I don't know Chris that well, but I can tell by his being humble and, you know, I don't know. You just feel authenticity.
It's all over YouTube. I've documented the whole thing. You know what I mean? The vlogs, you can't deny it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've always been very transparent. I hold pride in that I've documented it all. From the times we didn't have nothing trying to build it, sharing all the wins, sharing all the losses. I think that's important, man. You got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
We got nothing to hide. Be real.
Yeah.
I like what you said, that it's important to show people the downside too, because
Is
social
this our
media is
second time
about.
recording this?
Yeah.
Let's share that.
It's
Yeah.
our second time. We messed up
Yeah.
the first time. We
Yeah.
can admit that we messed up.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they was willing to do this again.
Yeah.
And social media is so full of highlights.
But look, why were we willing to do it again? Because I respect you guys. I appreciate what you guys are trying to accomplish.
Absolutely.
I will go the extra mile with y'all.
Yeah.
We gonna sacrifice together
Yeah.
for the bigger picture, for the bigger purpose. This ain't about sponsors. This ain't
Yeah.
about views. This is
Money.
about, I see two individuals who care, who are building something from the ground up, and I want to support that, man. You know what I mean?
We appreciate it too.
Yeah.
Real
For
talk. Real talk. We appreciate it. Now, as you notice people growing in this industry, like you said, it's different than what it was pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of clout chasing right now.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people that they're trying to appear something that they're not. But then you have the people that we're speaking to right now that's listening. The people that want to be real, that are real, and that they're trying to grow a real way. Now, in you guys' growth, what were some of the challenges that you did have to face and overcome so that you can still be where you are right now?
You know, on social media, I'm a host, but aside from social media, I am an educator at a barber college. And the challenging thing is for me as an educator is making sure that every day, at least a couple of my students learn something new from me.
From you personally.
From me personally. And what's challenging sometimes is seeing students so wrapped up on social media and not realizing that the things that's posted on social media, there was a lot of things that got them to where they are today, but they don't share that. And they think that if they go ahead, for example, if they post barber tutorials every day, they're going to get 1 million views in one day. But with social media nowadays, I think in the barber industry is they're just pushing money. Book this many clients, you'll make this much a day. But again, it all just comes down to you gotta put the work in. You have to. And I never knew I was gonna do this. You know what I mean? I never knew I was going to work at a barber college, let alone everything, let alone the hosting, the becoming a licensed barber. I never knew that I was going to be in this industry. I trusted myself. I let God give me the path and I took it. You know, and the number one advice that I could give for me personally is Chris Bossio was the tutorials that I was watching. I wasn't watching this barber. I wasn't watching that barber. It was Chris Bossio. If I want to learn how to do a fade, I'm going to see if Chris Bossio got a fade video. If I want to learn how to save money or make money, the most money I've made in a year, I'm YouTubing Chris Bossio and I'm looking for a video that's going to go ahead and teach me that. Because I already found someone that's going to help me grow and help me be consistent, and I'm going to chase that. You know, a lot of barbers today is just, I'm going to push this to get this many views. I'm going to push this to do this. But that's not who they are. You know, it's a lot of people, you know, to end this is a lot of barbers are trying to do to fit in.
Yeah.
You know, it's taking away from them being organic and them being themselves. And now what I'm noticing is people are doing it for hype.
Yeah.
Because what we push is freedom. We push make your own prices. We push become a shop owner. But it's so many things to raise your prices, to become a shop owner. And they don't want to put the work in. They just want to make the money.
Yeah.
There's no more passion in it.
They want the status without
Yeah.
the work.
Yes, absolutely. Be organic. That's all I can say. Be organic. Trust the process. Do what you got to do because one day it will be worth it. Never did I imagine that I'm going to go ahead and host a Barber Expo for the 3rd time. Never. Let alone that I think that I was going to do a podcast with these gentlemen here. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, look, to piggyback off of what Nargis was saying, you know, she brought up what I was going to say from the beginning, distractions. You know, I'm guilty of this. It's easy to get distracted and you know, there's squirrel, right? Squirrel syndrome, right? But I think it's very, very important to understand what your path is, what you're trying to accomplish, and focus on that. One of the most successful things that I've been able to accomplish was the barbershops. It's not sexy. It's not cool. Nobody's going out of their way to learn about barbershops these days. Everybody's trying to figure out how to raise their prices, charge more, all these things. But the barbershops, man, I've been pushing it because it's been life-changing for me. Like, out of all the businesses I have, the one business I know that will last the test of time is a barbershop. Tomb 45 could be disrupted. My e-commerce store is disrupted. Everything could be disrupted. A barbershop ain't going nowhere. It's not going to be replaced by Amazon, none of that. But nobody's trying to perfect that. And nobody's trying to build it in a way that it showcases everyone. It makes everybody successful. So I would say, man, look, be careful on who you're listening to. If they don't have the results that you're looking for, and if they ain't been doing it long term, be careful.
Yeah, I like that, man. I like that. There's a couple things that you guys both said that I hope to highlight a little bit. I know we're about to end, but and Delmar got probably another 2 questions or something. But the ability for people to focus is so key in a world full of distractions. Like, you can get, and I suffer from this myself. Like, we as barbers, 9 times out of 10, we're creatives, right? We're kind of we create things a lot. We want to introduce new stuff, try new things, and push new things. But you want to be able to identify where your strength is and then run with it. Run with it until it gets so successful that you have the opportunity to branch out. You know, because a lot of people will try and branch out. Like, one of my mentors, he said, Brad, you got to be careful that you don't try and build a mile wide and only go an inch deep. You need to learn how to go an inch wide and go a mile deep in that, so that you can strike oil and that you can actually grow. So what do you all just say to really push that home? How much is focus really serious for people right now?
I can go in on this.
Go in on it, man.
So look, I have 2 companies that are big on coaching people. Pie Accounting focuses on helping people. All right. So the mentorship is about increasing income. Pie Accounting is about keeping that wealth, that income, and making it work for you. With Pie Accounting, you have a health check coach. With Pie Accounting, you have a weekly call, because it's not enough to not be distracted. Everyone's going to be distracted by something. You know what I mean? If Jesus Christ ain't your God, something else is your God. You're worshiping something. It might be women. It might be whatever it may be, right? It might be you worshiping yourself. Yeah. And you are just constantly distracting. Every single week we have calls. And every single quarter we have a health check. I literally hired, I had my CEO, Tabitha, shout out to Tabitha. She's a dog. Okay. She hired a couple people to full-time just check up on our clients. How you doing? Where you been? What's going on in your life? Are you going to be on the call this week? Because you need that. Because you're easily distracted.
Absolutely.
Right? In the mentorship, we just hired 8 coaches who went through the mentorship. They've been in the program the longest, and now they're coaches. And they get paid every call. They get paid $250. So if they do 4 or 5 calls, they make their money. But every health check, they get $50. So if you do 100 health checks this month, you're going to get $5,000. Right? Those are our coaches. And those health checks are necessary because we need our guys who are in the program to be successful. We need them to have a coach that's going to keep them from being distracted.
And to support what you're saying, when you say you need them to be successful, it's not for you, it's for them.
It's not, it's for them.
Yeah, you need them to be successful for them. You're caring about their future.
I know it works.
Yeah.
And I know that sometimes people just get distracted.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing stopping them from failing.
Like Nargis
stopping
said,
them from being successful.
themselves.
It's literally themselves.
Yeah.
And so they need somebody who's going to come in and say, Brad, how you doing? We haven't seen you in a week. We haven't seen you in 2 weeks. Yeah, my bad. I've been doing it. Cool. I love you. You signed up because you said you wanted me to check up on you. I'm holding you accountable. This is what you said you was going to do. Can we expect you next week to be on the call? And sometimes that's 50% of the problem.
Yeah.
To us, that's the majority of people who are not successful is distractions. So we got to pull them in. So for me, I know how to work out. I've been diesel before. I've been in great shape. I used to bench press 400 something pounds. Like I used to work out with 365. Work out with it.
Yeah.
Reps of 10. Right? I still have a coach. I have a personal trainer. Still. You know why? Because I know this week I'm probably going to talk myself out of 2 days.
Yeah.
But the days I have scheduled with my coach, I'm going to have the craziest workout ever.
Yeah.
If I would have showed up by myself and I didn't have somebody watching my form, watching me cut corners, I probably wouldn't have had the best workouts this week. So I hired her to hold me accountable because I'm distracted. It's human nature. Man, don't let your ego get too in front of you that you are literally in your own way, like Nargis said. So
let Nargis add to that focus part, man.
All I know is get your pie accounting, get your mentorship, because that's all it really is. That's what it is. We do get distracted every single day. Social media, again, is the number one networking key, but that's the biggest distraction we have today.
It can be a platform, but it could also be a demise.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a double-edged sword. That's with everything. You know what I mean? Money could be a gift or it could be a curse.
Yeah.
Attention could be a gift or a curse.
Yes.
You need somebody to keep you from being distracted by the devil, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So,
Keep you on check, keep you on the right path.
Yeah.
And, a lot of the times, I think what I see today with, like, as an educator with my barber college is students are afraid to ask for help, or they think they're already too good because they know how to do a 1-2 step taper. They think they're too good. They shouldn't ask for help. They can't elevate, etc. Again, high accounting. Get there or be square.
So I just want to say, talking to the new barbers, anybody interested in being a barber, what's one take from each of you that you would give to them before getting into the industry, or just getting into the industry?
Put the mic close to you, man. Huh? Put the mic close to your mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look, another human error. But
accountability right here.
But something that you want the viewers to take away who are considering being a barber or just getting into the industry, something that they should look forward to as far as focusing on getting into this industry.
One thing I love about this industry, man, if you're in control of your future, just make sure you're around people who have your best interests in mind. They're asking you what your goals are. People will call out some of the things that I believe is a pro, and they'll make it a con. And like, for example, benefits. Like, you can't depend on people to provide that for you, but it's 100% there for you.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, most of our students in the mentorship are looking for insurance. On average, they pay about $200 a month, but they're going to get the best medical insurance you can think of. Like, you're going to be able to see your doctor the same day. If you need a surgery, you'll get it the next day. Coming out of pocket is minimal. So I've been to other countries where healthcare is free. Good luck getting surgery in 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Good luck seeing your doctor the same day. I can contact my doctor right now. I got an app where I can literally either call them or text them. So I'm okay with paying $200 a month in healthcare if that means I don't have to pay 50% of my income in taxes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the beauty and curse of the barbering industry is you're in control of your future.
Yeah.
The problem is if you are not responsible, if you're not able to lead yourself, if you can't lead other people, you can't lead yourself. And most barbers are the worst managers they could possibly have for themselves. They're depending on themselves, but they can't even make their own careers work. So that's why it's so important to work on yourself.
Yeah.
To focus on self-development. That's why we go so hard on these events and we do what we do. None of us have to do this. We all have our careers. We all have our sources of income. But we realize, man, there's such a void, and every day I'm getting these questions, and it's up to you. But it's all in your hands. The opportunity is endless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So make sure you're following everybody here. We all, even though we come from different backgrounds, we've taken different paths, we're all on the same mission. You know what I mean? And we just want to see y'all grow. So
Same question for
Yep.
Nargis?
Same question, Nargis.
Can you repeat the question?
The question was, speaking to anyone who's interested in barbering or just getting into the industry, what's something that you want them to take away from this interview?
What is something what?
That you want them to take away from this interview?
You're always a student. You're always going to learn. Every show, every event you go to, learn something new. Make education your goal. Again, you're always a student. Whether you make 100K a year or 10K a year, you still have room to grow. You're never going to be perfect or a professional. I didn't know I was going to sit in a podcast with Chris Bossio. I didn't know I was going to come to Seattle and be on the same flyer as Chris Bossio, the person who made me get into the barber industry. Like, I've been through a lot to get to where I am today. And as a barber host, what gets me going is a lot of the crowd, they're like, I'm waiting for you to burn out. But I don't burn out because I love what I do. I've worked hard to get to where I am today. And the number one advice I could tell you is keep going, because I promise you it will be worth it. But make sure to set a goal every single day and learn something new every single day. Take advantage of your resources, because I know Bradford could teach me something new today. I know Chris Bossio will teach me something today. I know I met you for the first time today. I thought it was just you. So you have to learn something new every single day. Talk to whoever you want to talk to. Give each other your Instagrams. Business cards nowadays, it's a little tough. Instagram, people know me as Nargis Lee Octopus. They're like, what's your name? I'm like, it's Nargis. And they're like, oh my God, your name is in your Instagram handle. Yeah. And I always get, is your last name Octopus? No. Yeah. And I get that a lot, but introduce yourself, tell them what you're doing, grow. And the number one advice, once again, I could give is trust the process.
Same question to me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to go with it too. So I think from this episode, man, one of the biggest things that I'm taking from this is about ownership of your future. You own your future at the end of the day. And barbering is one of the vehicles that allows you to get to the future that you say you want. You know what I mean? So I would say if you are serious about growing, if you are serious about trying to get to another level, you're trying to elevate, whatever it is, don't block yourself mentally. Don't block yourself physically. Don't take yourself out of the process of growth. Put yourself in the environments that allow you to grow. Get to the expos, get to the barber battles, get to the barber colleges that you say you want to go. Get there. Get wherever you have to go to put your mind in the environment for growth. Because if you stay stuck in your mind and don't continue to grow, then it's you handicapping yourself. Like Chris was saying, it's you. No, you were saying that you versus you. And so if you don't get nothing else from this episode, remember that your elevation is going to start with you. As Chris said, 80%. Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
man, look, I'm gonna also say this, bro. Your favorite barber, your favorite influencer in the industry, they're regular people.
Yeah,
they're regular freaking people. Like, if you pull up to a show, okay, like Brad did, and you have you look at this. He's got his table. He's got a sheet with his brand on it. He's got his equipment here. All you got to do is ask him, hey, man, will you do a 10-minute interview? 9 out of 10 will say yes. Come to one freaking show and be intentional. You might have 10 episodes by the end of the show.
Yeah.
It don't take a lot. And do your research. Be prepared. Treat these people like you would want to be treated. And Next thing you know, you got the episode out. I'm gonna promote it because I'm in it. He gonna tag me. We're gonna promote it. Hopefully he gets some followers. We do it again the next show. And we do it again the next show. It ain't that freaking hard, guys.
Yeah.
It ain't
Don't
that hard,
complicate it.
man. Just come correct. Brad comes correct every time I see him. So I respect that. And I can't wait to support what he's doing because I know he's going to bring something to the table. It's not just a phone, camera. Hey, man, I got some questions for you. You come correct.
Yeah.
It don't take a lot of effort to do that.
Yeah.
It's just caring. It's just passion behind it.
Being intentional.
And guess what? The same guys you want to interview put the same passion in at one point in time, and they want to support that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So bring that to the table, man. You'll be able to build whatever you want. This is not that hard, man.
Mic drop. I ain't got. Look.
If you want it, you can get it.
Absolutely.
If you want it, you can get it.
Man.
Only thing I want to say is personal development. Man, Chris messed me up, man. I had my train of thought.
You started pointing to the song.
My song went on. I was just like crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, personal development, networking, and like Chris said, be intentional, man. When you come to these events, yeah, you can get caught up in the partying and all that stuff, but like just be intentional with what goals you're trying to accomplish. You know, take advantage of these type of events and, you know, get to know some of the process of the people that you look up to.
So if you have not done this already, we're going to need you to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on so that you can get the latest gems from everything going on here at Elevated Barbers Podcast.
One thing I would love for you guys to do. I know you want to be behind the camera. I know you want to be behind the camera, but I think his story needs to be told.
I agree.
The way Urban Barber College has gone through a process.
Yeah.
A real process.
Yeah.
And now everybody knows about NorCal and all that, but I know behind the scenes, the work that was put in, the grassroots.
Yeah.
And I know both of us was grassroots.
Yeah.
And we came together for a purpose.
Yeah.
And we've been growing and growing. And that, every time I get to see you, bro, like we've been through our ups and downs, but it's always been north. Like we say this all the time in my community of barbers. Like I don't see eye to eye with my barbers all the time.
Yeah.
They might go northwest. We might be leaning northeast, but we're going north either way.
Yeah.
And that's what's important, man. We're all going to go through trials and tribulations, and we're going to go through some things. But the one thing I can respect is the guys who are going north no matter what. This guy right here,
you got to
the
get
owner
on
of Urban
camera.
Barber College, man. What he's done.
Talking to you.
Come on, man.
We can't
How long you been doing this, bro? How long you been doing this,
I
bro?
don't even know. Probably about 15 years.
Take
Come
a
on,
seat,
man.
man. Take a seat real quick.
Come on, man. I remember, real talk. I remember having less than 100,000 followers and him booking me for my first ever class at a school. Ever.
Yeah.
I'm in Florida. I'm going to California for this. It took California for that, not my hometown.
Yeah.
Like, this man has sacrificed a lot. He's put in the work. He's put in the money.
Yeah.
He's risked some things. So I just want to make sure you get your flowers, man. And there's a lot that people can learn from your story as well, bro.
So please introduce yourself.
I appreciate that, Bossio. My name's Alejandro. I'm the owner of Urban Barber College. We opened about 13 years ago. And just from the start, my whole goal was to educate barbers and elevate the whole career. Because at the time it was, people were cutting hair, hustling, making money, and I felt like it could go further. And so when I opened my school, that was my goal. And when I was looking around the country, I saw Chris Bossio, 245. I don't know if it was 245 at the time. He was just starting 240. He just started 245, but that's what they were doing. They were elevating the barber game.
I was still making the shave gel.
We had shave gel. Yeah.
Like at that time.
Yeah.
At that time, it was Elegance. Shave gel was real big.
Yeah.
But Chris wasn't just doing education. He was elevating the barber game. He was teaching people how to improve their career. Because at the end of the day, it was a career. It's a lifestyle. It's something that you could feed your family with. You could feed your future families with. And that was big. And it's evolved, and now that's something that I see talks about all the time, this generational wealth, building wealth for your family. And it goes beyond barbering. It goes, it's the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's why I brought Chris Bossio to Urban Barber College, because it was bigger than just barbering.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing. We're elevating barbering. It's funny that you had this brand called Elevated Barbering.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to do since I opened. And we just continue to do that. Like I said, in 5 years, I don't know where I'll be in 5 years. Mike Jones, where will you be in 5 years? I don't know. But before I opened Urban Barber College, I did not know I would open Barber College. And I didn't know I would still be at Urban Barber College. And in 5 years, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll keep doing big things.
And let me just add something for you as well. They just opened up their third location, if I'm correct, in Modesto, right? And so they're actually the biggest barber college in the Bay Area. Like legitimately by far the most popular, the most desired to be at. Like people are like running to be at Urban Barber College. But it's because of what you've invested in the students. You know what I'm saying? Like the money, like you said, that he spent to make sure that they get the best. Yeah. Like it's undeniable what Urban Barber College has done.
I was telling them before this episode we've been filming, like before he booked me for a show, most barber schools didn't want nothing to do with me. They saw me as a YouTuber. I wasn't a real instructor, and no one was willing to put their name into me coming to their school and educate, even though they were already watching my stuff.
Yeah.
Like even my wife's school, she was going to the school. I knew they were watching my videos. When I would show up to visit my wife, everybody knew who I was. The instructors were begging me to come and do a class, and I said, I'm down. When they went to go get permission from the school owner, they said no. They denied it, even though they watch all my stuff. Like that's literally how they learn. And so it's a testament to him and what his purpose was, and it was bigger than just the money, right? But look what it grew into.
Yeah.
I didn't know Nargis went to my class, and that's what inspired her to become a barber.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Nargis has been an immense asset for you. Look at what she's done for barber shows and for the barber community. Look at what Urban Barber College continues to do. Look at what them together have done with NorCal Barber Expo.
Yeah.
Man, guys, you don't understand what you can grow from the grassroots, man.
Yeah.
I started Tune 45 with a shave jet, with a hand mixer in my kitchen.
Yeah.
There's so much that can be built here. And guess what? Some of the biggest names, the real ones, they're gonna rock with you if you pour that same passion, if you exemplify that. Elevated Barbers, man, it comes full circle.
Yeah.
We're here for a reason.
Yeah.
Alejandro just said it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's
how
crazy.
It works, man.
Now,
Crazy.
I do want to know, how did you and Nargis, how did that connection happen?
Ooh, good question.
Well, so I actually saw a posting on Facebook. I seen that Urban Barber College was hiring for an admissions position on Facebook. I applied, and I was going through one of my worst days of my life. I was stuck on the side of the freeway, flat tire, and Alejandro called me about the position. And I went from being rude, like, hello, to, hi, my name is Alejandro. I'm calling from Urban Barber College. And I was like, oh, hi, how are you doing? I changed the whole script, acting like I was having the best day of my life. When in reality, I was just crying that I was stuck in LA on Highway 5. And I went to my interview.
Yeah, she showed up in shoulder pads, her mama's suit jacket. And I was like, wow, she's really professional.
Yeah.
She got a suit jacket on. All the other interviews are coming in with like street clothes, holes in their jeans, just horrible.
And I got hired.
Yeah, she had a suit jacket on. That was
I started
impressive.
from the bottom, and as Drake said, I made it to the top. I started as admissions, and I am a school director now. Yeah.
Wrap it up. Well, I think this has been an outstanding episode, man. Like, this was the best one yet. Like, round 2 was better than round 1 for sure. So, Alejandro, thank you for coming on the camera, man.
Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for putting this all together.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, so man, Delmar, get back on for a second, man. He gave him the chair. It was good to have Alejandro, but this has been an outstanding episode. I have gotten fed multiple times.
And can we shout out Battle of the Barbers?
Oh yes,
Definitely.
yes,
For bringing us together like this.
absolutely. So Battle of the Barbers 5, Jesse James, he's thrown 5 of these amazing barber battles. Nargis has been a host for what, 3 of them? 3 shows, and he's invested in his students, in his barber college, and in his area out here in Washington, and invested and got Chris Bossio to come out, and he killed it today. And I really, really appreciate everything that you said on stage, but more than just the stage, I really, really appreciated seeing you touch all of the students, bro. Like all of the people that was here, just being open and being available, like you said. Man,
like that's one thing I take pride in. You can see me at any show, whether it's CT Barber Expo or the small shows across the country. I'm gonna be in the mix, bro.
Yeah.
I'm boots on the ground. I want to talk to people, man.
Yeah.
I want to show love to people, man, because they without them, man, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing, you know. So I want to pour into them at all times, for sure.
So I hope that this is my favorite episode of all time.
Definitely.
For sure. But
Definitely.
Delmar, man, I'm gonna let you close it out.
Man, this has been another great episode of the Elevated Barbers Podcast. We had Nargis, we had Chris, we had Brad the Great himself. Man, I don't know, man. I appreciate this episode, being able to do it again for the second time.
Man, that's gold.
And I got more out of it the second time than I did the first time.
Yeah.
So this was meant to happen.
Yeah.
We was meant to
We
mess
was
up the
meant
first
to
time.
mess up. We was meant to mess up. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please be on the next episode as well. We always gonna have great guests for you. So again, for Elevated Barbers Podcast, we are out.
Peace.
The information that you're giving them is going to elevate them financially, mentally, emotionally, and going to rise, and they're going to elevate.
We are here trying to elevate barbers as they're elevating the industry.
The one and only Elevated Barbers Podcast. Let's start the show.